All right, good evening, ladybugs. Um, I don't know who needs this message. You must really need it or really want it. Been thinking about this. Because somebody has been pulling on my spirit about what to do. When you are in a relationship, situationship, and you and that person share telepathy, they're sending you telepathic messages, and that's their form of communicating with you. If that person has criminal issues and they never tell you about them, but they're sending you a lot of telepathic messages and there's no proper communication as far as phone calls, text messages, emails, face-to-face conversations directly between you and them, you are to keep distant from them. Keep space in between the two of you all. That's your barrier of protection. It keeps you out of harm's way, and it keeps you from being exposed to something that you have no idea about. It keeps you in the place of like, as far as legalities, whether it's local authorities or higher authorities, they will look at you as if why you never came around, why were you never in this person's face, space, and all of that. You don't want to physically put yourself in harm's way just because they communicate with you telepathically. Space, distance, that's the answer. That's the solution. Especially and particularly when they have not told you about criminal charges, issues that they are dealing with. Because if you do put yourself in that setting and you don't know, you put yourself in harm's way and you can make yourself a suspect. That's just that. And I'm saying that specifically when a person will communicate with you telepathically and not call you, not text you, not email you, no proper form of human communication. Now, when it pertains to these third parties, relationships, ladies, we have to understand we are living in a new age, a new generation. And men of all ages, they use telepathy to manipulate. A man that will communicate with you telepathically and he does not physically call you, physically text you, email you, having a sit down conversation with you, that is the number one sign of a man that's abusive. That is the number one sign of a man that's emotional. It matters not what else he has going on. It matters not what else he may have said about himself or what his past life was with his, with coming up as a child. That's a number one sign that he is abusive and he will abuse you. That's a strong, strong sign of an abusive and or oppressive man. So you want to be discerning with that. Telepathy will make you act and or respond emotionally. And a lot of people like that. Not just men, but a lot of people like that because it lets them know that you still care. It lets them know that you are still around. It lets them know that you still have hope for them, and it gives them some sort of leverage to feel comfortable in doing what they do manipulatively. So what would I suggest or recommend when you get a lot of telepathy? You hear the songs, you see the movies, you have the visions, you can feel them on the inside, and they never call, they never respond. The best thing is still today is just going to be space. Because, and it may take some time to get to that point. That's life. Experience will make you better. But at the same time, the space will make you better and stronger for yourself. You don't want to keep putting yourself in harm's way for you to be hurt, for your feelings to be trampled on. And honestly, you don't want to keep yourself in their space too much, their energy, so that you don't recognize a genuine soulmate that has been sent in to take you out of all that telepathic mess. Anybody that communicates with you telepathically more than they do calling or texting you, there is some form of manipulation. There is some form of a lie, and that's a sign of abuse. Simple. Distance and space will help you see who that person is to you. It may not be who they are to somebody else, but it will reveal who they are to you, or at least attempting to be. When it comes down to legal issues, if that person lies to you and you know they have something going on legally, and they're communicating with you telepathically, and you think they want you to reach out, you think they want you to come over, don't do it. If you ever have law enforcement, local authorities, or higher authorities show up in your life about a person that you didn't know had legal issues or legal things going on, you want to always communicate and cooperate and participate with law enforcement. Why? Because the person that you have that telepathic communication with, if they didn't think enough of you and themselves to inform you of their real life, trust me, they will throw you under the bus. They will use you as a pawn. You will be used as a casualty of war to make it better for them and hard for you. They will swap roles with you. If a person lies to you or manipulates you about legal issues, I would best advise you, if those authorities show up at your door, call you on the phone, you better cooperate with them. That's not snitching. That's not being a backstabber. You cannot protect a liar. You cannot protect a manipulator. You cannot protect a person who is not upfront and honest with you. You better keep your ass away from them. Keep distance and space. Even if you learn and know things about their life that they haven't told you, don't tell them, because it gives space, room, and opportunity for them to confess or just reveal and communicate with you and be honest. Keep what you know on the inside as much as possible, especially the dirty stuff. Because when people get in your face and lie, you know to keep that person at bay. You know not to, interact with them. And then that's also a sign if you should continue working with law enforcement or not. Any quick questions before I hang up? No, we don't need any cards. We don't need any cards pulled. This is just general conversation to make it, just to make it make a little sense. I'm just reading y'all comments to see if anybody has a question about telepathy. I just want to say, just while I wait for a few more seconds, maybe another minute. Telepathy is a beautiful thing. And believe it or not, it's a normal thing when you tap into that frequency. Some do it easier than others. But we just live in a generation and a time of life that people are very, very, very manipulative, and they lie bad. And they are a lot, they show a lot of abuse. They use spirituality and even religion to abuse people. The last thing I want to say in closing, when it comes to someone, y'all, these two things here, I want to touch on this that popped in my spirit. If you find out a person's family or friends have lied to you, misled you, don't ever trust the family again. If a person will lie and help cover up mess, it can be simple mess, small mess. Don't ever trust that family member, and be particular about the other family members you interact. You don't have to be exceptionally close to people's family or their friends, because you have to remember that is their bloodline. Although that term says blood is thicker than water, a lot of people will sway with their family. And then when you meet a person's friend or friends, you have to realize that's a person that you didn't know. They have reported that individual. You have to gain that. So when you find out, or if you ever find out that someone's family member or friend has lied to you, been a part of any manipulation, misleading, deceiving, all of that. You just want to really cut your ties and have boundaries, major boundaries for that particular family member or friend. And for the rest of the family members and friends, just be selective and don't overshare. Don't open up. Don't get too close. I hate to say it like that, but that's just the truth. You cannot trust people's family and friends that play a part of their deceptive, manipulative ways. When people deceive, that's one thing. When their family co-sign on it, that's just who they are, period. Believe it or not, people's family members are not blind to their deceptive ways. They're not. They're just not going to let you know they know. They're not blind to it. They're not that blind to it. They're just not going to let you know, because they're not going to go against them. And when people's family members entangle themselves and stuff like that, just to let you know, they've always suspected that person to be that way. And they probably have always covered for them at a particular point in their life in messy situations. Just do yourself a favor, and I just wouldn't trust that person anymore. And going forward, I wouldn't get close to any other family members or friends to trust them either. Ladybugs, I hope that this has been helpful. Peace and blessing, great day. I got a little phone call. I got to get on and jump on that 12 o'clock prayer line. I hope y'all have a good night. I hope this has been helpful. I hope this message gets to the right person at the right time, because I kept hearing it all day in my spirit. Don't put yourself in harm's way saying you're a healer, you're meant to save them or something like that. We can't save people. The Lord will use us to inform and to help and to assist. People may say, oh, you saved my life, or if I wouldn't listen to you, I would have been messed up. But that's the thing. A person has to be a willing participant. And when they're not willing, then it's just a choice that they make to do what they have done or what they want to do. And that's just that. But we're not here to be super save a hole for nobody other than ourselves. That's why I even believe this. When a person's friend or even family turns against them and they come and tell you, things that you didn't know, I would make note of it. Utilize the information / energy. I would make note of it. It's sad that when people put you in a position to be an enemy than a friend, sometimes it's just easier and more beneficial interacting and working with a person that's their enemy. And that's just life, whether it be right or wrong. But don't put yourself in harm's way trying to save anyone, male or female. Let them make their own choices. Just try to be more accepting of who they choose to be for themselves. If you don't agree with it or approve of it, they just can't be that to you. Peace and blessing. Great day. Good night. Namaste.